Welcome to an island where time slows down and every corner has a story to tell. From its sun-drenched beaches and endless olive groves to villages bursting with history and tradition that feel untouched by time, this island is full of surprises. In this guide, I'll show you where to explore, how to get around, what to eat, and how to experience it like a local. Whether you're here for history, adventure, or just a taste of Greek island life, join me as we dive into everything this stunning island has to offer. So sit back and let's begin our journey through one of Greece's most authentic islands.
I'm Getaway Joe and I've brought you to the Greek island of Lesvos.
Lesvos is the third largest Greek island and is located in the northeastern Aegean Sea. The island forms part of the North Aegean cluster of Greek islands and sits close to the coast of Turkey, separated by the narrow Mytilene Strait, giving Lesvos a unique blend of Greek and Eastern influences. The capital Mytilene is on the east coast of the island close to the airport, whereas most tourist resorts like Molyvos, Petra and Yiassas are on the north coast. Skala Eresou, Plomari, Petra and Skala Eresou are located on the south coast, while Sigri is on the west coast. You can get to Lesvos by air or sea. The island is served by Mytilene International Airport, located on the southeastern tip of the island. The airport is served by flights from Athens and Thessaloniki throughout the year, as well as neighbouring islands such as Chios, Lemnos and Samos. In the summer season, flights link the island to the UK, the Netherlands and Belgium with a flight time of around 4 hours. The island's main port is located in the capital Mytilene, with direct ferries to the neighbouring islands again of Chios, Samos and Lemnos, as well as across the Mytilene Strait to nearby Turkey.
Lesvos is actually the third biggest Greek island after Crete and Evia, which means there's a lot of it to explore. The best way of getting around is without doubt by hiring a car.
The roads are generally very good. They're paved and the roads are also signposted in both Greek and English, meaning navigating around the island is fairly easy too. All the locations featured in this guide can be reached by main roads, meaning any hire car, no matter how big or small, can make the journey. For €55 per day in August, I hired this automatic Hyundai i10, which got me everywhere you see in this guide. There are intercity buses linking the towns and villages throughout the island to Mytilene, although they can lack reliability and seem to run on GMT, Greek maybe time. Taxis are also available in the main towns throughout the island, but if you're staying in the resorts of Molyvos, Petra or Yiassas, a fun way of getting around between these three resorts is by the village train. This links the three resorts, enabling you to visit each town, go to the beach and have lunch, as well as pointing out points of interest and facts along the way. €10 gets you a hop-on hop-off ticket, so you can really make a day of exploring the area. Several trips per day run between the three resorts, and I'll put the link to their website in the description below.
Top tip for Lesvos: hire a car. It'll be the best decision you make on your trip here.
Perched on the northern coast of Lesvos, Molyvos is a timeless village where cobblestone streets wind beneath cascades of bougainvillea and wisteria. It's a town with three distinct areas: a pebbled beach backed by bars and restaurants, an old Agora on the hillside, and a working fishing harbour that's lined with tavernas. Molyvos is dominated by its Genoese-era castle, which is where we start our tour of the town.
So whilst it's nice and early, and before it gets too hot, I'm going to go for a walk up to the castle, which is looking over Molyvos. It's located high up on a hill, so I should get some pretty good views from up there. Top tip, if you do plan on coming to Molyvos Castle and you plan on walking it, come early in the day. I'm travelling at the end of August and daytime temperatures are around 32-33 degrees Celsius. There is a little bit of a breeze which is taking the edge off, but definitely do it early so you're not doing it in the heat of the middle of the afternoon. Right, I've made it to the castle. I wasn't too bad of a walk, to be fair. Some of it is in the shade, so that takes the edge off. Now this is a castle. Look at this.
Molyvos Castle is one of Greece's best preserved, offering sweeping panoramic views of the region. It was originally built during the Byzantine era and later expanded by the Genoese in the 14th century and turned into a major stronghold in the Aegean. It was further fortified under Ottoman rule after 1462 and served as both a defensive and administrative centre for the region. Entrance costs €5 and it's great to check out the views from the little nooks and crannies around the fortress.
Yeah, it's a long way down. It's a great view though.
Trust me when I say the trek uphill is worth it for the views. Enjoying the video? Please hit the like button or subscribe for more travel content.
Last push. And I've made it to the top. Great views though, spectacular.
From the highs of the castle, it was time to make my way down into town.
It's quite easy to find yourself lost in these narrow cobbled streets. They're really charming. Just gotta watch your step a bit.
Beneath the castle is the Agora, where cobblestone streets are covered in blooming wisteria, providing shade from the midday heat and sunshine. The Agora is full with gift shops, local stores selling traditional produce, bakeries, and several fantastic restaurants, some of which have balconies overlooking the town and sea. Some of my favourite spots in this area included Gatos restaurant, with its rooftop terrace that had excellent sunset views. Then there was Tropicana Platanos, a popular spot thanks to its lively village square setting and excellent Greek cuisine and hospitality. A meal here is a real highlight, and I'd highly recommend booking to avoid disappointment. Symposium, a characterful cocktail bar with seating on the stairs, and the Blue Fox for its Freddo espressos and delicious lemon meringue pies are great for after dinner drinks or a dessert or two.
So this is Molyvos Harbour, which like all Greek fishing villages is the heart and soul of town. You've got boats coming and going all day, fresh fish, catch of the day, and as well as that some really great restaurants and bars as well.
Molyvos Harbour oozes charm and is lined with colourful boats and lively waterfront tavernas. The harbour comes alive in the evenings when the tavernas are full of locals and tourists alike, savouring fresh fish, seafood and salads, served alongside lashings of wine and ouzo. Rula Mistrali served up some excellent grilled prawns in this stunning waterfront setting, and for an after-dinner drink, I've got to give a big shout out to Molly's Bar. Tucked away on a cobbled street in the harbour, this small bar is big on atmosphere, playing a variety of rock, indie, soul, and sometimes country classics. Think of anything from Joy Division to Kenny Rogers, Calling at the Cure, Talking Heads and Bruce Springsteen on the way. They also stock a variety of local beers, so if you fancy a local brew like this one from Sigri Brewery on Lesvos itself, Molly's is the place.
Let's go to the beach. It's starting to get a bit warm now. The mercury is rising. It's bloody hot, man. Jesus. It is August. What did I expect?
Molyvos beach is narrow and it's all pebbled, so if you want to go swimming, water shoes might be helpful. There is a small stretch where there are sunbeds and toilets close to the Olive Press Hotel. There are better beaches on Lesvos, which you'll see later on in the video, but the sunsets from the beach here were incredible. It was well worth it one night to grab a couple of beers from the supermarket and Agoras and head down here one evening to take in the beautiful colours at sunset. Cafe Sunset was another favourite of mine. This beachfront cafe bar served up snacks throughout the day, desserts and drinks in a chilled and peaceful setting overlooking the Aegean. For me, it was the perfect place to unwind with a wine on an evening listening to the waves, all while stuffing my face with their very good orange pie.
Oh, that's good.
Molyvos was the resort I spent most of my time at, staying at the quintessentially Greek family-run Erifili Hotel on the outskirts of town. Molyvos feels like three resorts in one, with the beach, Agora and harbour all coming together to give you the very best that Lesvos has to offer. Just along the coast from Molyvos, Petra is a charming seaside village that perfectly blends history and local culture with a glorious golden sandy beach. At the centre of town is a village square, adorned with tavernas, bars and cafes, where you can watch the world go by in front of you. Strolling through Petra's narrow cobblestone streets, you'll find shops selling local produce, cosy tavernas and vibrant cafes that capture the island's authentic character. The town's name of Petra means rock in English, which comes from the striking volcanic monolith that rises above the town. It's crowned with the church of Panagia Glykofilousa, and you can climb up the 114 steps to the church.
Nearly there. Everything is on a hill.
The church gets its name from a local legend surrounding a ship's captain who found an icon of the Virgin Mary at the top of the rock, and therefore decided to build a church there. There are various dates thrown around on the internet as to how old this church is. I've seen 1609, 1747 and 1840, so if anyone does know, let me know in the comments below.
It's very peaceful. It's got a great beach as Petra. It's about 3 kilometres long. It's sandy, bit of shingle as well, but crystal clear water. It's absolutely stunning, really nice.
On the western side of Lesvos lies one of the island's most fascinating treasures, the Lesvos Geopark and its world-famous Petrified Forest. Formed around 20 million years ago by intense volcanic activity, the forest preserves ancient trees turned into stone, with their roots, trunks and even leaves fossilized in incredible detail. The park is all open air and there's very little shade. There's plenty of walking trails though to do around the site. As it's located on a hillside, it's not a place I'd recommend if you've got walking difficulties, and the walk was actually much longer than I expected, but it was really pleasant on a breezy late summer morning.
Some of the fossils though are quite phallic looking, is what I'd say. Yeah, definitely very suggestive. Like I said, phallic. I can't not see it.
Anyway, that's enough innuendo for YouTube. Today, the Lesvos Geopark is a UNESCO Global Geopark, and combined with the Natural History Museum in nearby Sigri, you can learn about the island's geological past. Tickets cost €10 and you get access to both sites, and being just roughly 10 kilometres apart, they're easy to do in one day. The park is accessed by a paved road and there's plenty of car parking available too. Down the road from the Petrified Forest is the fishing village of Sigri, a place where you feel like you've stepped back in time 30 years to a time when life was much, much slower. But no, this is 2025 and life here is still very much go slow. It's pure escapism from the other parts of the island and has a distinct non-touristy feel to it.
The streets are just packed full of character. There's lots of little cafes and coffee shops and restaurants dotted around. Like, it's proper charming, authentic Greece. It's beautiful.
Sigri has a network of streets and alleys that's easy to get lost in, although the main street itself has a handful of restaurants and tavernas that snakes its way down to the port and castle.
Sigri's harbour is dominated by a castle. Now, unfortunately, it's currently closed as it's undergoing some well-needed restoration work that's going to take, based on the sign outside, 3 years, and it's not going to be finished until 2027. But it's pretty impressive though.
The centre of Greek village life is the Cafeneo, which was so busy I couldn't get a table outside. Given it was really windy, I was happy sat in the colourful interior for my mid-morning pick-me-up, a Freddo espresso. A Greek cultural icon, it's a shot of double espresso shaken with ice until frothy and then served chilled over ice. It always hits the spot. Cafe Karma was a busy place for brunch and had a lovely shaded area at the back that was nice and breezy.
Let's be honest, Fanta Lemon is the ultimate holiday drink. Innit? If you know, you know.
Fanta Lemon downed, I also had a turkey salad wrap for lunch before the next stop, which was the beach. Sigri Beach is a long, unspoilt, sandy beach that's sheltered from the wind by the castle and harbour. There's a couple of beach bars that have sunbeds, but there's also plenty of space if you want to just put your towel down and find a quiet and secluded spot to yourself. The beach itself is really shallow, which means it's great for kids, but it's very pebbly and rocky as you try to get into the water. This video of me trying to get in is pretty embarrassing. I'd recommend water shoes if you plan on swimming, and funnily enough, I'd forgotten to pack mine that morning. At least the water was refreshing. That said, it was nothing like a beer on the beach after a swim to end the day couldn't fix.
This is Skala Eresou on Lesvos' south coast. It's got a really long sandy beach that's perfect for swimming.
Skala Eresou has a chilled beach bar vibe and is famously linked to the ancient lyric poet Sappho, who was born in nearby Yiassas. Today the village carries that legacy with a welcoming and inclusive spirit, attracting artists and writers. The village is popular among LGBT travellers, in particular those from the lesbian community. Each summer it hosts festivals and events that celebrate music, art and community, making it not just a holiday destination, but a place where culture and modern creativity meet. This can also be seen in the colourful streets of the town, where flowers and impressive street art adorn houses and businesses. The beach at Skala Eresou stretches for several kilometres, and is lined with tavernas, cafes and bars in the centre of town that offer stunning sunset views across the Aegean. Outside of town, little cantinas are dotted along the beach, serving up drinks and snacks, some of which have a smattering of sunbeds and tables and chairs on the sand too. And the best thing about the beds on Skala Eresou beach?
Sunbeds are free, just if you're buying drinks and snacks at the beach bar. So yeah, happy relaxed days.
Skala Eresou is probably one of the best beaches on the island, with its resort vibe, amenities, long stretch of sand that never feels crowded, and its crystal clear water that makes it ideal for swimming.
So I've come to the seaside town of Plomari, which is on Lesvos' south coast, and it's the second biggest town on the island.
Plomari is built into the hillside with little winding streets that lead you down to a working harbour. Here you'll find fishing boats, colourful tavernas and cafes that line parks and squares, and the perfect spot to sit with a glass of ouzo and people watch. Plomari is a real centre for authentic Greek town life, and comes with all the hustle and bustle of a proper working harbour town.
Now Lesvos is a major producer of the Greek spirit ouzo, and there are plenty of distilleries down here in Plomari and the south coast of the island, one of which is on the way to Agios Isidrios beach, and that's Vavianis.
You can feel the spirit of ouzo throughout Plomari. Vaviani is one of the best known Greek brands of ouzo, and has been distilled here in Plomari since 1860, when Evstathios Vaviani distilled his first ouzo. At the distillery, there is a small museum with artefacts showing the history of ouzo production, as well as a visit to the factory itself, where you can see it in the production line. Better yet, tastings are offered down here too, and because this was the gift that kept on giving, the museum and tour was free. Here we go! My face says it all, I guess. It had a bit of a kick. After the tastings, you can purchase your favourite ouzo at the small shop on site.
So this is Agios Isidrios beach. It's about 3 kilometres out of Plomari, and it's a blue flag stretch of beach with a couple of beach bars too. The water here is crystal clear, but it isn't a sandy beach, it's more pebble and shingle, so water shoes are probably a good investment here.
What I really liked about this beach was that it wasn't just end-to-end sunbeds. A large stretch of the beach was left natural and untouched. It made finding a quiet spot really easy, where I could just spend the afternoon napping and swimming in the late summer sunshine. staying in an Airbnb in the centre of Plomari. I'm only about a minute's walk away from the square, and the reason I'm staying here for the night is because it's around an hour and a half's drive back up to Molyvos. I didn't really want to do that after a day on the beach. I kind of just wanted to relax a bit and take my time with things, and I've had a great day today at Yiassas beach, sunbathing, swimming, had a couple of beers in a beach bar after, which if I was driving I just wouldn't be able to do. But let's go see what Plomari is like on a night. I'll pop a link to the Airbnb that I stayed at in the centre of Plomari in the description below. Plomari is a town that really comes alive after dark, and it's worth bringing a big appetite with you as well. So I've just stumbled on a place, and it's a grill restaurant, so it's going to be meat tonight here in Plomari, and it's such a fantastic setting. Like, the tables are all set out on the pavement. It's almost like a shop front, and there's a grill inside, and the owner is just grilling meat on open coals, and then they're serving it pretty much to tables that are laid out in the street. It's fantastic. Looking forward to this. I started with a Greek salad and the bifteki, which are grilled beef burgers. The burgers were perfectly cooked and flavoured with hints of oregano and parsley. And now the chicken's arrived and I've run out of table. This is incredible. I had to get some grilled pita bread too to mop up the juice from the salad, and you can't forget the lemon drizzled over the grilled meat too for that extra hit of flavour. This. Phenomenal. And I'm not exaggerating. This is so good. So that could be one of the best meals I've probably ever eaten, or at least one of my favourite meals I've ever eaten. That was absolutely phenomenal. This was Plantelli restaurant. I think I timed it right just getting a table here, and a lot of them were reserved, so if you want some good grilled meat, I'd recommend booking ahead. In the evenings, locals and tourists alike descend on the tavernas, coffee bars and ice cream parlours that line the squares of the town. It was great to see children playing in the squares and families and friends meeting up at the end of the day. It felt like I was really immersed in the Greek way of life in Plomari. €2.50 for a very nice glass, actually. Cheers to that. Mytilene is the vibrant capital of Lesvos and is a melting pot of history, culture and seaside charm. It's the largest settlement on the island with a population of just over 33,000. The town is built amphitheatrically around a large harbour that has ferry connections to neighbouring islands, Piraeus near Athens, and across the Mytilene Strait to Turkey. The harbour is lined with plenty of tavernas and bars where you can soak up the local atmosphere. Mytilene is dominated by a castle that sits above the harbour, and that's where I'm walking now. The castle is built high on a hill overlooking the city, and it's a decent trek to get up there. It covers an area of 60 acres, and although built during the Byzantine era, it's thought that a castle or fortress of some kind has stood here for almost 1500 years. Being located on a hill, the castle offers excellent views across the city and harbour, so there is a reward for the trek up. So it's a bit of a trek up here, but you won't be disappointed. It's huge. It doesn't look this big from the outside, and then you get in and it's absolutely massive. So it's open every day except Tuesday. Last entrance is at 3:10 in the afternoon and it closes at 3:30, and as well as that, costs €5 to enter. Information boards are dotted around the site, explaining the history of the castle and what each site was used for. You can even venture down and explore the crypts, which is pretty eerie as you can find that you're the only person down there.
So these are the castle's crypts, and at least it's cooler down here, out of the sun. It's a bit spooky though. Now, the castle is a ruin, and I suppose thousands of years of protecting the city, war and earthquakes have all taken their toll, but they are working on restoring and keeping it structurally sound as well, but you do just have to watch your step as you're walking around.
The restoration work is ongoing at various points around the site, and with very uneven cobbled floors, do wear decent footwear if you plan on coming up to the castle. Still, it's a pleasant walk around with various viewing points offering different views of the surrounding landscape.
It is a bit hazy today, but you can just make out the Turkish coastline across the Aegean over there.
If you find yourself in Mytilene for the day, the castle is well worth an hour of your time to explore. This is partly because Mytilene isn't well known for its beaches. There are stretches of pebble beach around the castle, like Panagia Beach, which has a €2 entry fee. That said,
Mytilene is really well known for its architecture. It's a real mixture of Genoese, Byzantine and Ottoman architecture, and it's really famous actually for its mansions. And I'm just walking back from the castle back to the harbour. That's beautiful. Now it looks abandoned and it's very run down, but architecturally what a stunning mansion.
steps behind Sappho Square in the heart of the city, you'll come to a labyrinth of alleyways and streets. Mytilene is the headquarters for the University of the Aegean and has a thriving student population. Along with that comes plenty of cafes and bars in the narrow network of streets behind the harbour. They range from rustic cafineos to trendy cocktail bars and eateries. The streets are bedecked with greenery, flowers and street art, making it the perfect place to grab a bite to eat, have drinks and soak up the local atmosphere. Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday, so that's exactly who I travelled to Lesvos with. Jet2 are the only UK airline flying direct to Lesvos, and I booked a package via Jet2 holidays staying at the 3-star Erifili Hotel in Molyvos, which was an excellent choice. The package included the return flight, coach transfer to and from the hotel which took around 90 minutes, and 10 nights bed and breakfast at the hotel, as well as 22 kilos of hold luggage. I hired a car locally from Euro Motors, who are based in Petra, and had the car delivered to the hotel. I had an automatic Hyundai i10, which got me to everywhere you see in this video. I'd highly recommend hiring a car on Lesvos. It'll enable you to explore the island, and I know I've only scratched the surface on Greece's third largest island. I stayed overnight in Plomari, booking this via Airbnb for the night, which was a stone's throw away from the harbour, and it enabled me to experience a different side to the island. I'll put the links in the description below. Right, time to sum it all up.
And that's a wrap on my time here on the island of Lesvos. And what a fantastic place this is. Great food, great drink, lots to see and do. And it's a huge island, but it isn't commercialised at all. It's really got that true, authentic feel of Greece. The entire island just seems to give you a really warm hug upon arrival. And that stays with you throughout your trip. And that's where I'm taking home with me as well. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.